If you're self-employed and you've tried to figure out health insurance on your own, you know how confusing it gets. You Google it, there's 100 different options. It seems like half of them are insurance. You're not sure if they actually are, and no one seems to give you a straight answer. Well, that's what this video is going to be, a straight answer. By the end of this, you're going to know what your real health insurance options are, what the alternatives are, and what you absolutely need to avoid. So let's get into it. This video is for anyone who has to buy health insurance on their own. If you're a freelancer, a business owner, a contractor, if you're a content creator, anyone who does not get health insurance through a job, you gotta figure it out on your own. Here's what nobody tells you. There are only two ways to get health insurance in this country: individual marketplace health insurance, so Obamacare plans, or group health insurance. There are no other options. Everything else you're seeing, the health shares, the short-term medical plans, the fixed indemnity plans, they are not true comprehensive health insurance. Depending on your situation, they might be an alternative that makes sense, but they're not real health insurance, and I'll tell you why in this video. So to talk about health insurance in today's day and age, first we gotta talk about the Affordable Care Act. The Affordable Care Act isn't insurance, it's a set of laws. The Affordable Care Act doesn't just apply to Obamacare marketplace plans on healthcare.gov. It also applies to group health insurance plans. So let's talk about your first option, which are healthcare.gov plans. These are also called marketplace or Obamacare plans. Now listen closely, because these are the things that are required to be in marketplace health insurance plans that are probably missing from the private insurance you find online. Marketplace has to cover prescription drugs, maternity, mental health, and most importantly, marketplace plans have to cover pre-existing conditions. If you've ever been seen at the doctor for anything, that's considered a pre-existing condition. And health insurance outside of the marketplace and outside of group health insurance plans do not cover pre-existing conditions. Outside of marketplace plans, your only other option for real health insurance are group health insurance plans. These plans also fall under the Affordable Care Act. So everything I just mentioned, maternity, mental health, pre-existing conditions, has to be covered under group health insurance plans, which is what makes it real insurance in 2026. Group health insurance is honestly the most underutilized option in the self-employed world. Most people assume to get group health insurance, you need 20 employees. You don't. In a lot of states, you can get a group health insurance plan for just you and your family as a self-employed individual. It's called a group of one. In 2026, it is cheaper to get PPO group health insurance than it is to get a PPO plan through healthcare.gov. And on top of that, group health insurance plans have lower deductibles, lower out-of-pocket maxes. So a lot of business owners are saving money on their premiums and on their medical spending by switching to group. Now, those are your only real health insurance options. They cover maternity, they cover pre-existing conditions, they are federally regulated plans, but there are other options. So let's talk about them. Let's start with health sharing plans, because these are not health insurance at all. They're not insurance. They're essentially community cost-sharing programs. So everyone puts their money into a pot in the form of their monthly premium. If there's enough money in that pot to pay your medical bill, then they might pay it. If not, they are not legally obligated to pay claims because they're not insurance. Health share plans usually have a weight on pre-existing conditions. They are not my first choice. I have some clients who use health shares. They pay their medical bills and they love them, but they know what it is and they know what it isn't. If you truly cannot afford marketplace health insurance or group health insurance, these are a great alternative to at least have something in place. Okay, have you ever heard of short-term medical plans? These were originally created to help people bridge the gap between from when you left your job and got a new job. You don't have insurance for a certain period of time. So that's what they were used for. These plans do not cover maternity. They don't cover pre-existing condition. They usually don't cover a whole lot of anything before the deductible. I usually call these hit by a bus plans because that's about the only time you're going to use this. It's very catastrophic health insurance, and it's not going to cover any of your medical bills if it's for a pre-existing condition. Pre-existing means anything you've been seen for at the doctor before, you've talked to the doctor about before. These only make sense if you are incredibly healthy and have no pre-existing conditions because again, I call these hit by a bus plans. They're not paying a penny until you pay whatever deductible. And lastly, this one I want to flag because it's being marketed heavily right now as an alternative to health insurance, and it's not. Now, you probably have never heard of indemnity before because agents don't like to call them that because now people hear that and they think, wait, don't I want major medical? And yes, you do want major medical. Indemnity plans work the opposite of major medical. We love group health insurance and marketplace plans because they have an out-of-pocket max. Indemnity plans don't have that. They work the opposite. They say, hey, you go to the doctor, we'll pay you $200. If you go to the hospital, we'll pay you $1,000 every day you're there. A lot of agents will tell people, hey, this plan has no deductible, no copay. It's paying everything day one. And that's true, but it's not paying everything. It's paying $200 towards your doctor's visit. It's paying $1,000 towards that $20,000 hospital stay. Your exposure is unlimited. I've had people come to me with six-figure medical bills because people are selling this as an alternative to health insurance, and it's not. I don't sell these on their own, period. Now, I do sell them in addition to major medical, and they work fabulously in that regard. I had a client last year who got a check for $80,000 tax-free from an indemnity plan because his major medical paid all the bills, and so the money the indemnity plan paid went to him. That's the only time indemnity makes sense, but now I'm getting ahead of myself. So how do you decide what makes the most sense for you? This is the 4-question framework I go through with all of my clients. Question number 1, do you have any serious pre-existing conditions or any expensive medications? If yes, we got to look at Marketplace. That is our only guaranteed option. Question 2, are you healthy and paying full price for a Marketplace plan? If the answer is yes, then you have more options available to you outside of Marketplace. And at this point in 2026, Marketplace is one of the most expensive options. So you might be able to get better coverage for a lower monthly premium, surprisingly. Question 3, is budget the main concern? Because if yes, we can look at those options I talked about outside of the Marketplace, outside of group. You just need to understand the risks. And question number 4, do you have employees who also need coverage? What type of group health insurance plan depends on what your goals are. If it's just for you and your family, we're going to look at a different option than if we have 10, 20 employees coming to us. When you're self-employed, health insurance is genuinely more complicated than when you're just picking whatever plan your employer offers. But it's also more flexible, which means when structured correctly, it can be significantly better and pay more than you even thought. If you watch this video and want to know what specific options are available in your zip code, the link below this video takes you to a strategy session, which is a free one-on-one call. We'll take a look at your situation, your zip code, your budget, lay out all of your options available in your area, and we can parse through which one makes the most sense for you, your family, or even your employees. If this video is helpful, then make sure you subscribe. We're putting out new videos every month because once you understand how the system works, then you can make better decisions. And that's the whole point. I'll see you in the next one.